We're going to continue now with actually showing how to reconcile some of the PHA's FSS data with the data submitted in IMS PIC. So one capability that PIC has is a report generator called the Form 50058 ad hoc report that I'm showing here in the yellow. If you don't have this access to this, you should talk to your PHA system coordinator. And what this report, which I just clicked on, will allow you to do is generate a set of data that you can use to compare it to your own FSS information from your own management information system. So the look and feel will be a little bit different depending on what you have access to. But we're going to go ahead and generate a report for the Montgomery County Housing Authority. And so the first thing I need to do is actually go to the Baltimore Hub office. I know I need to go to the Washington, D.C. Program Center because that's where the PHA is. And then I'm going to click on the Montgomery County Housing Authority. Again, your look and feel and what you have will be different based on what rights. And then the next question that you're going to be asked to is, what program do you want to pull information for? In this case, we're going to pull it for the all voucher funded assistance. So this will be basically everything in the Housing Choice Voucher program. If you wanted public housing, you would be clicking on the public housing program. So I've selected the voucher and I'm going to continue. The next screen we get to ask you to select what 50058 action code you're interested in. For this example, we're going to do new admissions, annual, interims, portability move-in, other change of unit, annual reexamination, historical adjustments. Basically, we're going to ask for everything in the database except for the portability moves out, which would be families not in your jurisdiction anymore, and end of participations, families that are no longer in the HCV program. For the effective date, we're going to try to capture the widest number of records possible. And so we're going to default this to 01/01/1900. So this will give us every record since the inception of IMS PIC. The next date I'm going to put in is the end date. In this case, and to be in line with the notice, we're going to do a January 15th, 2016. And at this point, you would just go to the field selections. So what this screen allows you to do is pick what actual information you would like in your report. In our case, we would like the head of household first name, their middle initial, their last name. We want the action code associated with them and the effective date of that action code. And because we're interested in FSS participation, we would like the FSS participant now or in the last year indicator. As you can see, we can have a lot of different variables in the 508 to choose from. But in this case, again, interested in FSS activity, I'm going to go to the next page by clicking Continue. And I'm going to go to the 17 series, which is family self-sufficiency. In this case, we want the FSS report category. Is it an enrollment, a progress, or an exit record? The effective date associated with that, the code of who's administering the contract. We're going to scroll down a little bit. We're also going to choose that we want to see the initial start date of the contract, the end date of the contract, and the contract date if it was extended. And finally, since we're looking at FSS, we're going to choose the monthly credit, the account balance, and what was dispersed as part of the escrow. And now we're going to go ahead and generate the report by going all the way down to the bottom right, and we're going to click Generate. And what you've noticed now is the report came up. There's actually 4,418 records in this report. It's over 10 screens long. And if it doesn't come up, and this is basically it'd be computer dependent, you're looking for a pop-up area right here. So if you click on Generate Report and it doesn't come in, there's a little pop-up here that you're going to have to select. And so now, to make this really functional, we want to download it into Excel. So I click the download, and that takes me all the way to the bottom of the report. I click on it, and it's asking me, do I want to open the report? So I'm going to say, yes, I want to open it. And now I have the report. One of the things even though this automatically generated in Excel, if you do a file, save as, what you'll notice, it's a comma delimited file at this point, meaning it's not, even though we're viewing it in that Excel, it's not a Excel file yet. So what we would recommend is that you save this file with a name that makes a little bit more sense to you. Pick FSS Data. And change it to an Excel workbook. And at this point, you've now created a Excel file with all the FSS data. So I'm going to exit out of here because for the remainder of this, we're actually going to use some fake data. And what I've just went to is a 50058 ad hoc report that generated, but the data itself is all made up. It's all dummy data. And so the key here is why we have the data. We recommend formatting it so it's more user-friendly. And so we're going to take a few minutes just to show you of what a kind of a formatted file would look like. And so one of the first things I would do is I would get rid of these header rows. I don't need them. I know the effective date and the end date, and I know the housing authority because I already put this information in when I generated the report. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete that out. And then one of the next things I'll do is I would go through and select my row headers. And I want to format that a little bit. And I'm going to wrap the text. And all wrap the text does is it shows you everything in each one of the columns. So now I can see that this was Social Security head of household, first name. And again, a lot of the formatting is personal style, personal preference, but you could easily go in and say first name, middle, and so on through all these. By just changing the color, and the reason I've done this is later we're going to bring in your own PHA data. And so this visual effect just tells me that these columns came from IMS pick. And so I automatically know where they came from. Most of the data, you understand the format, the Social Security, most of it's being hidden, the names. Again, quickly you could go through. We know this is money because this is escrow information. You can format the cells. I've changed it to currency. And so, again, everything we showed right here, again, is a personal preference. But there's one thing that you'll notice. So the effective date here on the main 50058 reads like a date, June 1st, 2015. The effective date on this on this enrollment is 8/1/2015. What you'll notice here on the contract start dates and end dates, this doesn't really look like a date. And so what we would recommend is I insert a row. I'm going to copy the formatting over. And I'm just going to simply put account in. And all this does is allow me to sort. And I always return it to its natural position. The next step I'm going to do is I'm going to add what Excel calls filters. And we're going to insert a new row. And I'm going to highlight this row. And I'm going to go under data. And I'm going to go under filter. Or I'm going to click the filter on. It's just a toggle, filter on, filter off. And what the filter allows you to do is it will allow you to sort and hide different rows that you're not interested in. And so I'm going to drop on the set of cell L here where it says initial start date. And you can how the filter works, you can see that there's this item to select, this item to select, the little asterisks, and I have blank cells. So that's the only thing in this row, in this column. And so I'm going to sort it A to Z. And so what that has done is that has brought my dates up to the top. And I'm just going to, I need to format these differently so they look more like a date. And we're going to do this using a mid function. And so let me explain how the mid function works. All the mid function does is it brings back a set of characters from a cell. And so in this case, I'm going to select my cell as being L3. So I'm going to select what's supposed to be a date. I'm going to put the comma. And then the next question it's asking is, where do you want to start from? Well, in this case, I want to start in the 5th position. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to start in 11, where that 1 is. And I want to go 2 places. And I'm going to end with the parentheses. And so what you'll see that brings back is the 11. I've brought back basically the last 2 digits of this cell. Now I'm going to continue modifying this. The ampersand just says add more to this, so I'm going to add a division, a backslash, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to do another mid. I'm going to select that same cell. I'm going to start in position 1, and I'm going to go 4. And so what that's giving me now is something that really reads like a date, November 2014. Much easier to handle than looking at it this way. I'm going to copy this, and now I'm going to copy this again. And now what you've seen, I've basically made a date that's more recognizable out here. The next step would be to copy that whole area, and I want to paste it as values. And what paste values means is now the formula's gone, and it's going to read just like that text. And now I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to paste it. And again, we only have 30 records here, so you understand it. We could drag it all the way down. Okay. Don't need this anymore, so I'll delete it. Now, what we recommend is that every time you get done with a major step, you would save it, or you could move or copy, and I'm going to make a copy of this sheet. I'll rename it to formatted pick. And therefore you would have your original data, and now you would have a formatted spreadsheet. Meaning if you made a mistake or you deleted something, you could always step back to the original data that you started with. So what I'm going to do now, I've already formatted a sheet. And so this was the original pick data that we brought in that we've now formatted. So much easier to read. Okay. So the next step would, if you want to compare this to what's in your own management information system, you would need to have that data. And so I already have a tab called PHA Data that I'm going to unhide. And so what this table represents would be data from your own system saying who's participating in the FSS program. And so now the idea would be to try to compare what's in this table from pick to the data that you have in your own system. And in order to bring these two tables and align them together, we need to run one more set of formulas. And so I would go back to the formatted data. And if I want to join ML Addison, the question, well, here's a Myra L. Addison. And so the idea would be to trying to bring this data over. Now, I could, if this was a small PHA, I could go back and forth and say, well, here's ML Addison, and we could drop that information right there. But Excel will allow you to do this easier and allow you to match a lot of records very quickly. And so the first step in this process is understanding what makes a record unique. And so I'm going to create a field. So I'm going to add a new column. So I'm going to insert, and I'm going to make this a key. And you can name this whatever you want. And I'm going to fill this with different columns of data. And the reason we need to do this is you could have many millers in your FSS program. In fact, you could have a couple of R millers. And so what we're trying to do is build something that's unique, that would always only bring up the RF miller with this social security number. And so we'll just start adding different columns. So I'm going to add the social security number because that's usually pretty unique, even though I only have the last 4 digits. And again, I want to bring more, so I'm going to bring the first initial of the first name. I'm going to bring the middle initial, and I'm going to bring the last name. So now I have a field here that's really comprised of 4 different fields. And for most housing authorities, this would be enough to make it unique. And I'll copy that down. Now, the next step would be making the equivalent in your own data. And so again, I'm going to insert a column. I name it key 1 so I know my 2 keys match. And again, I'll start with social security number. Now the difference here is I got a first name, where in the pick I only got the first initial. So what I'm going to use that same mid function. I'm going to select Myra. I'm going to say start in the first position, go 1. Now I'm going to pull in the middle initial, and I'm going to pull in the last name. And now, when I open this up, I have 4 fields that are in here that are looking exactly like the same. And again, I would copy this down. That still doesn't necessarily help me compare. So now that I have 2 fields that are unique, okay, and I'm going to hide these cells for right now. We can always unhide them. I'm not deleting, we're just hiding them temporarily. I'm going to do something called what Excel calls is a vertical lookup or a VLOOKUP. And the formula works. All formulas start with the equal sign, the VLOOKUP, and open parentheses. In the PowerPoint that you have, I've put syntax and other information on how to use the VLOOKUP and the mid function, which are really the only 2 formulas that we'll be using today. So the first question that needs to be asked is, what am I trying to match on? Well, I want to match on this column here, and again, it's a comma, and then it says, the formula is asking, what do you want to pull in? So I want to pull in data from this table. So I'm highlighting this table, and the key here is whatever I want to match here in B4, it needs to be the first column in this table. And that's why I put the key in column B, because I can't put it here because it wouldn't, I can't pull in any of the columns to the left of it. I can only pull in data to the right. And so the next step would be, what do I want to pull in? I want to pull in this column, which is column 1. And then I'm going to type in false. So let's just bring this back and see what happens. So once I enter in the whole formula, what you'll see up here is the Social Security number, the M, the L, Addison from this table here. Okay. And now, once we have the link, all we have to do is copy the formulas. Now, what will happen is I can't simply copy and paste. Because what you will notice happens is my table from PHA data starts in B4 and goes to K19. Right, I'm starting in B4 and it's going to K19. And so if I simply copy, Excel wants to move my table. See, B4, K19. Now it's switched to B5, K20. So before copying, what you want to do is lock your table in. So you can lock it by putting $signs before B and before the numbers. And all this does is lock that cell reference. So now what will happen is I'm in BK B19. And so I'm going to copy all this down. And so what does the NA mean? So that has to do with the false or the true. So the last part of your formula, you can either type in false or you can type in true. If you type in false, what that means is there has to be an exact match. If you type in true, Excel will grab something as close as it can. So meaning it would change MA Banks. It would bring back something. It wouldn't be MA Banks, but it would bring back something close to that. So when you're working with a VLOOKUP, you always want this false because you only want to bring in data that has an exact match. Now, the last step of this is we have the key here, but what I really want is the rest of this information. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to copy the formula to the right now. And again, what you will notice is I don't find a match. And again, it's because Excel thinks I want to move one to the right. So I was at B4, which was this key here. Now it's trying to match on C4, which was only the Social Security number. So again, we want to lock this by putting a $sign. Okay, and then I'm going to copy this all the way over, and I don't know how many rows we have. Let's go to PHA data. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 10 columns altogether. So I would want to copy this 10 times. And let's say this is 10 times. And now what I have to do is for each one of these, I have to change because I'm always pulling from the first column in my table. Now I want to pull column 2. And now I want to pull column 3, column 4, and so on. You're just updating this number. And again, what that number represents is this is column 1, column 2, 3, 4, 5. And at that point, you could copy and paste everything down. Copy. Okay. And now we're almost done. And so the next step, which I would recommend, is, again, I will copy all this data that we just created, and I'm going to paste it as values. And again, I just get rid of the references, so it's no longer a formula, it's just data. And the other thing that you can do is select all this. I'm going to find and select, and I'm going to replace. And this is a personal preference, but I'm going to replace all these pound NAs and I'm going to replace them with nothing. And so now what I have is I have a table that where I had the match from the pick to your data, from the PHA's data, all on one row. And again, at this point, you would want to bring in some of this information. So you have headers. You're going to want to turn off your filters really quick and then turn them right back on. And now you actually can start analyzing your data. And so I've already have a file or where I've merged the initial IMS pick data that was formatted with all the data from the PHAs. And so now we can actually start doing analysis. And the reality is, while this probably took us 15 minutes, this is about the extent of all the Excel that you really need to really start now evaluating the data in here. And so one of the features you can do is there's a lot of information and it's very hard to keep scrolling back and forth. So ask yourself the question, okay, what would I like to analyze? And so let's say I want to analyze who's in the, when were the last set of enrollment records and progress records and exit records submitted to an IMS pick. I don't need all this information. So in this case, I'm going to start hiding rows or hiding columns. And I'm just going to select and I'm going to drag. And I'm going to hide them. The data's still there. Again, we didn't delete anything. And since I know the names match, right, I'm going to get rid of a lot of this temporarily. Oh. No, yeah. And I don't need any of the escrow data right now. And so now I have a much more manageable view of the data. And so this is where the filtering and the sorting really helps. So I'm going to go ahead and sort on the FSS report category. And so that was A to Z, and that brings up everybody who's never been a progress report in for me. Don't necessarily like that sort, so I'm going to sort Z to A. And you can see how flexible this is, just with a quick, a quick click of the button. Now I can see who has exit reports generated, who has progress reports, and who has enrollments as their last action and pick. And so this is important to understand that when you do a report in IMS pick, it's bringing your last FSS addendum record with it. And so now I can kind of start comparing. And you can see at this point I have where there's no information in pick for these families. Well, that makes sense. I'm also saying that they were never in IMS pick. So this is what they were never in my FSS program, or they're not in my FSS program. So that makes sense. Now the one on the bottom here, for Lee, we're saying they are in my FSS program, but in pick doesn't have any type of enrollment or a progress report or anything for this family. And here's where I have at least names lining up. Now if I sort a little bit different, so here I'm sorting oldest to newest on the effective date. I can start comparing to what my HUD count was. So we ran a report as of 1/15/2016 from PIC. So if I was submitting a FSS progress report and I was doing my enrollment or exits timely, I should have a record between this date range for everybody in my program at this point. I'm sorry, it should be 1/16. So on the Housing Authority side, if we asked how many people are in your program, you would count the people with open contracts. So here's all my family with open contracts. And so there's 1, 2, and we would count. And again, you would come back and say there's 15 people in my program during this time frame, from 1/16/2015 to, or January 16th, 2015 to January 15th, 2016. What would have HUD came back with? HUD wouldn't have come back with a count of 15. HUD would have came back with only these records. Oh, I'm sorry. For 10/2015 through 12/1/2015. Because HUD is always looking for a date range, these 3 records, this record here and this record here, even though these are active FSS participants, the last progress report was 3/12/2014 for Whiteside. Really, there should be another progress report in this time, during this time frame. So with just a couple of easy clicks now, you can say, well, I have an issue here, and I'll go ahead and just make those in red. And so again, the last progress report was 3/12/2014. I should have something now between this date range because HUD's requirement is at least a annual FSS addendum. And that's the same issue here with Davis. Now, for both Whiteside and Davis, I don't know if there should be another progress report, or maybe they exited the program altogether and the exit record should have been submitted. But at this point, you know that we need to submit something different in PIC. Now on Jones, this actually makes sense, right? We submitted a exit record on 8/5/2014, last FSS addendum, and you would not consider that person in your FSS program anymore. So these blanks make sense. Don't have to do anything with this one. This family already exited, and they're not in our program currently. So by simply filtering, and to turn the filter off or to resort, you could just go back and resort. If you didn't want to, if you only wanted to look at progress reports, so now I got P's, X's, and E's, again, what the filtering allows you to do is simply say, right now I'm showing everything. And if I only wanted to show progress reports, I deselect everything, I click on P, and now the only thing that's this table is going to show me are people who have progress reports. So depending the area of interest you're looking for, you can hide, sort, and very quickly. And what we found is most FSS coordinators, once we show them a name like Whiteside, they will know what the reason is that there's a difference, or they'll understand what needs to happen. What you can also start doing now, and so we can unhide everything again. And just by selecting everything, you could click on hide. You know you have a filter on, or if you notice how my numbers are not sequential anymore. I got 1, 3, 4, 7, 8. And they're in blue. That's telling you have things that are hidden. You can see the little filter button that's on, how it differs. So you can go back and select everything. If you're not sure, you can always select that row, take the filter off, and reapply the filter. And that brings back everything back at its original. So the filtering is a very strong analytical tool. And again, the recommendation is once you have this merged data, save your file, make yourself a copy, and then go in. This way, if you actually do accidentally delete something, or somehow the sorting gets out and the rows no longer are matched, you always have a version that you can go back to. So not only the participant count, you can start trying to figure out what person may be causing the difference. You can also start looking at different attributes of your data and cleaning that up over time. For example, if again I go to the progress reports, so I'm just going to select the P's and I'll select the E's, the enrollments. So now this is everything with a progress report and an enrollment. Right, we had a FSS participation code that said, are they in the FSS program, yes or no? And now we know that they all should be yes because either they were enrolled or they're progress, but this one's a no. So again, the next time we do a 5H submission for RV gun, we want to switch that to a yes when you do your next 5005H submission. And so over time, you can clean up all your data by linking these two, the IMS pick table with your own data here. The last thing we want to show as example is how you can use this data also to make sure if your escrow balances are in fact reconciling. And so in this example, which is the same example that's in the notice, I have data for A. Richardson. And again, because I'm interested in escrow, I hid my columns to just those items I need. And so on August 2015, we had an annual reexamination. And the requirement now is with every reexamination, I have to do a FSS addendum. So in this case, there is a progress report for that same effective date, 8/1/2015. And so what does PIC have? Well, PIC is saying that every month, starting in August, that escrow balance is going to be increased by $73. On August 1st, 2015, the balance was $734, and no funds have been dispersed. What did a PHA record show? Well, again, in our example here, we had the PHA pull a report as of 01/15/2016. And the credit amount matches. And if we think about that, that makes sense. Because every time a interim or a annual was due, you would have to be reporting the new monthly credit. So really, the FSS monthly credit and in the system and the FSS monthly credit in the PHA's data should always be the same. The FSS balance, though, is off, but that should be expected unless there's no monthly credit, unless the credit was zero. Because PIC is not actually updating this. So what PIC shows is always the FSS balances as of it was entered. So this FSS balance in the report is as of 8/1/2015. The FSS balance you have for this family, again, because we're using 1/15/2016 as our date, reflects the FSS balance at that time. And then we have the amount dispersed, okay? And the amount dispersed, again, this was what was dispersed as of 8/1/2015, not necessarily what was dispersed since then. And so the question becomes, are these balances correct? And if you think about this as a checkbook, and that's how we've set this up, you can make your adjustments. So in this case, I'm starting with my $734 balance as of 8/1/2015 from PIC. And I need to make some adjustments. And the first set of adjustments I'm making is in September, that escrow was credited with $73, same as October, November, December, and January. And so that's what these adjustments for $73 represent. 5 months of additional escrow going into Richardson's account. Also, there's interest earned. Now again, in this example, we're saying there was another $10 of interest that was credited to Richardson's account during this time frame from 8/2 to 1/15. If there were any disbursements made, I would need to reduce it again. So anything that wouldn't be represented in the $734 balance would be an adjustment. And so my total adjustment for this time frame is $375. So if I take my 734, I adjust it by the 375, now this $1,109 is in fact what the PHA has in their balance. And so this is, and so the FSS balance that you would have in your system versus PIC is going to be a little bit different from all these timing issues. And again, you can set this up, and we just walked through one example, but you could see how you could build a set of formulas that make these adjustments for you to make sure that what's being reported is correct. If it's not, if it's different, let's say when I got done, my PHAS balance was actually $2,000. And so they don't equal. Now, we can't tell you why they're not equal, but at this point, we've heard things. It's how the system is set up. It doesn't calculate it. It could be that other information on this family was changed. There may have been, let's say, an interim entered, and it's not reflective in IMS PIC yet. It might be that the FSS coordinator is crediting a different amount of money than what's in IMS PIC. But at that point, once you know where it doesn't reconcile, the two numbers don't reconcile, at that point you can pull this one and find what is making the difference and make the corrections. In the PowerPoint, we've left some syntax for the VLOOKUP in the mid function. And you can rewatch this portion of the video. The other thing to keep in mind is that what we've showed you is only one way to bring this data together and analyze it. Excel has a lot of different functions, a lot of different formulas, a lot of different methods to get to the kind of the same result. And so this demonstration was simply just trying to show how we can pull the data from the PHA next to the data in IMS PIC and then quickly analyze it to find outliers that allow you to correct your data.
Thank you for watching and listening in to today's webinar on HUD Notice 2016-08, covering FSS reporting and FSS program portability provisions. As we mentioned, this webinar was not to cover the notice in its entirety, so we certainly encourage PHAs to read the notice and to follow up with your PIC coaches should you have questions. Additionally, if you need questions answered, please send them to fss@hud.gov, but of course, contact your PIC coach first. Again, fss@hud.gov, and follow up with your PIC coach. Good luck and happy reading.